All right. So I'm live, guys, and I'm just here so I don't get fined. I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm here to discuss a few things with politics and paganism. Actually, so some people have been asking me about some of my beliefs, and I just want to clear some things up for us in case you don't know. All right, so I am what you would commonly refer to as a pagan. I do believe in multiple deities and spirits, that kind of stuff, but I do want to kind of clear that up a little bit. Some people have been confused about the Jesus is King troll that I've been doing. I've been doing a troll lately in the comment section. So I'm gonna kind of explain that a little bit. So Jesus is King is this thing that Kanye West said on Twitter. And basically it was a perfect response to somebody who's just trying to mess with him. And so that's what I took the kind of a certain page out of his book with the Jesus is King thing. So most people know that I worship an ancient demon. This demon's name is Valifor. He is the king of thieves as far as the demon world is concerned. I am a pagan. Well, more like a witch, really, because I have a book of shadows, as you can see. Ordered this from Amazon. It's a regular book, but it is a book of shadows. If you look at the design of it, and the only spells I really have in there are things for personal improvement, things like physical fitness and intelligence, that kind of stuff. That's why the only thing I focus on, because Valifor is a spirit. In terms of the lesser key of Solomon and the Ars Goetia, Valifor is the sixth spirit, and Valifor is known to be a king, the king of thieves. And so pretty much he makes your hands fast, makes your mind sharp, makes your body like super duper fit, basically for fit for a thief, basically. So if you want to know what that guy is, that's what he is. I don't actually steal anything, but I do kind of dabble in witchcraft. I dabble in paganism. I dabble in a whole lot of stuff, and generally the occult. Basically, if you notice that some content creators, they say that they actually use the occult and they use magic to make predictions, that kind of stuff. Well, I do much of the same thing, except I take mine to the extreme, and this is why I'm so much more right compared to them. They make a lot of predictions and they're typically wrong. Whereas me, I'm right a lot more often because I focus on the specific area of my magic. So it's not something where it's like I'm evil, I'm gonna hurt anybody. It's not that at all. It's just religious, that's all it is. It's been around for thousands of years. And if that's somehow wrong, then I'm gonna question everybody else's beliefs too. So if you want to know about paganism, what I specifically follow, look up the Ars Goetia, lesser key of Solomon, sixth spirit. His name's Valifor. Sometimes they call him Balefar, sometimes they call him Malafar, but it's Valefor. That's what I call him. And I even if you notice in some of my videos, I'll even wear this jacket. It's right here. I had this custom made with the Valifor sigil on it. It's kind of cool. I took it over to this dry cleaner place that kind of does sewing with patches for military. And when I brought it over to them, they didn't know what it was, but they kind of figured it was something kind of like witchy, that kind of stuff, and kind of like spooky, wookie. And so I had to kind of explain to them, no, it's not anything evil. Just I'm paying you. If I'm paying you, then oh well. The other thing I want to point out some things with politics. So how does that mix in politics? Well, like some other content creators who are pagans, who are more hardcore like me, unique like me, we don't exactly fit into a political class. If I try to go too right, a lot of people would judge me for being a pagan, and you and I both know that. It's not saying bullshit, but that does happen. And unfortunately, when it comes to paganism, when it comes to certain beliefs, there's some parts of the right that will never accept that. And even when you look at people like Styx Hexhammer 666, I know for a fact that some people on the right who are super duper Christian who will not accept him. And so I realize that, and I know that that's going to happen, but I don't worry about that. I just kind of like just do my thing. And if someone that doesn't particularly like what I do, then that's on them. But for me personally, I have this belief system because I've rejected Christianity. I embrace a lot of the African like freaking deities. I do that a lot because I just don't believe in worshiping is the exact same. And I don't believe in going to Islam. I was a Muslim once. I was a Christian once, and I was atheist. I just don't believe in going to any of that because like I want to be in touch with my roots. Now, what you do with your personal life, that's on you, and I'm totally support you. But as for me, that's the reason why I left Christianity. I left Islam and I went to paganism because I feel like that's more in line with what my people believe. Now, granted, with the Valifor thing, that's more Judeo-Christian thing. I get that. But I do also dabble in other belief systems that are more less, I would say, unconventional, or just not as heavy, I guess. Now, politics. Let's talk about that. So you may have noticed lately that I've been a little bit more hardcore when it comes to politics. That I've been telling people, if you say some stupid shit, you got to go. What's the reason for that? I recently had an incident in the comment section where a threat was thrown. I got contacted, and sorry, I just can't have that. And aside from that, when I started seeing some people react to some of the things I say, start saying the like niggas, that kind of stuff, it's like, okay, I tolerate that for fucking years. I don't have to keep tolerating you. I'm not your mother. I'm not your father. I don't have to tolerate that. If you can't behave like a fucking adult, go elsewhere. All right. But I don't have to sit here and keep tolerating abuse. I don't come to you and come to your channel and talk shit to you. I don't do that to you. So why do you come and do it to me? I don't mind people talking shit to me. That's perfectly fine. I've been shot at before. Perfectly fine. But there's a time and place for things. You can act like a fucking adult. And if I'm like I'm like a really, really tall, really muscular guy, really fast, really strong, kill a lot of people for you. Even know good and well you wouldn't say that shit to my face. They don't say it, online from the cover of darkness. Don't just do that shit. Because one thing about me is that the same shit that I talk to you on the internet, I'll talk to you in person. So, this idea that you can just say whatever you want to say to somebody and expect them to never respond when it's been years. I had that one incident with the alt-right where I was accused of doxing, and people started putting out apology videos saying that I didn't do that. And ever since then, my mentality has changed. I'm not tolerating that bullshit no more. All right. So you can not like it, and I totally get it, but it's not for me. It's not for me. I want people, to disagree. There's a way that you can disagree without being racist, without just threatening people. There's a way for you to do that. All right. And if you can't do that, then get off the internet. Seriously. That's my suggestion to you, because you're starting to see that more and more content creators are not tolerating that, because YouTube has now made us responsible for the comment section. So when you say something crazy in the comment section, the whole comment section gets locked down and the video gets suppressed. I'm not having that happen. Okay. So behave yourself, and maybe I can change policy. Maybe I don't have to be so hardcore with it. But it's like when I start getting calls from the cops, when I start getting contacted by YouTube, when you can't stop spamming the goddamn N-word. Some of that is on some of the people who are doing this shit. And I can't. What I cannot have is a whole comment section getting locked down because of one of you can't watch your goddamn mouth. You can disagree. You could even insult someone without calling them a nigga. You could disagree with you could disagree with somebody without judging them because they're fucking white. You can do that. All right, like listen. I know some of the toxic fan bases that go with some of the other content creators, and I would suggest that if you want to go out and doing that, go to those people. But I don't want to deal with that. I don't want anything to do with that. I just want to make videos. All right, I'm not in your fucking political battle. I'm just in it to make videos. That's why I made a channel. If I want to just go out and just have debates about politics, there's avenues to do that outside of YouTube, and I would do that. But I'm here to make videos. I'm not here for your rage towards a woman or a man or a certain skin color or a certain class. I'm not here for that. I'm here to make videos. That's it. Now, if you want something different, you want to talk about a white ethno state, there's the Kill Stream with Ethan Ralph. There's Andy Worski. There's a lot of other people. If you wanna sit there and just spam like N-words, there's Brandon Tatum. You can run over to him. He has no issue with that. All right. But as for me, all right, if you can place expectations on me and my assets has never really been all that high, and my Patreon never really been all that high, I'm doing this for free. So I'm not going to do this at my own cost. I'm not going to sit here and have somebody tell me what kind of content I can make and what I can't make. If you want to do that, there's other channels that you can go to. But as for me, I want to make the content that I want to make because it's coming from me. Because I mean, like otherwise, I would just take things that other people say and just upload that. But that's not what I'm saying. So I don't know why people come here expecting me to say something that you know I'm not going to say. And again, if you're so confused about my positions, let me go ahead and clear it up for you. I'm pro-gun as hell because I open carry all the time. This is my CZ PO7. I open carry all the time. I'm pro-gun as hell. I'm pro-free speech from the government. But when it comes to you calling somebody, when it comes to their social media page, their YouTube channels, I'm not the government. I don't have to respect that. I'm sorry. Can you show me the First Amendment where it says that I actually got to? Because the government barely fucking respects it. I have more respect for the First Amendment than even Donald Trump does, or Joe Biden, or anybody else in the goddamn or anybody else in the goddamn government. So it's like I don't know why people expect that. Well, free speech, so that means I can just call you nigga on fucking end. No, it doesn't. It works the exact same way as if you're calling me. I can hang up on you. Or if you want to mention the free speech thing, the First Amendment, well, the First Amendment also says I have the freedom of association or to not associate. So how does that work? So I have to associate with you when you're a fucking racist? Kiss my ass. Not happening. If you think that, if you're watching right now, and if you think that, it's not gonna happen. So I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna happen. Not now, not ever. You can get as upset as you want to get me about that, but I'm not tolerating that. No. Behave yourself. Be a fucking adult. If you can't do that, I will help you. So if YouTube's gonna make me responsible for the comment section, then yeah, I'm gonna be responsible for the damn comment section. Simple as that. And like I said, if you have an issue with that, take it up with YouTube, because they're punishing us now because of what you guys are saying. Well, some of you, and that's totally unfair. I can't be responsible for what other people do, but YouTube is basically saying that you are. So with that being said, I'm not going to tolerate it any further. And I kind of get where YouTube is coming from. I remember there was a 17-year-old trans person, and they were saying that all six people were sexist. All white people were racist, that kind of stuff. And that's some silly fucking opinions, of course. But then you had people in this anti-SJW community, you had them making videos saying crazy shit like kill yourself. And so their fan bases swarmed this person. And I'm going to tell you, I talked to YouTube about that shit. They were not happy about that. Because had that person actually killed themselves, do you understand the fucking bad press that YouTube would have gotten? So some of you with this fucking swarming shit, you got to stop. Because what's happening now is that YouTube is banning whole accounts now. So if you do that shit and somebody reports you, you're probably gonna get fucking banned. And if you have YouTube, fucking premium, I feel sorry for you. And these people with all these fucking sock, all these goddamn alternate fucking accounts, these fucking socks and shit. I'm going to tell you, they've caught on to that shit too. They're tracking down IP addresses now. So when they ban one account, all of them are gone. So there's a way for you to say stuff without saying it violently, without saying it like absolutely psychotically. Okay. There's a way for you to do that. If you can't do that, YouTube has already made it clear they're not going to tolerate that shit no more. Okay. So let that be known that not only is YouTube not tolerate that, I'm not tolerating because YouTube's not, because shit rolls down here. I am not going to catch shit because somebody else wants to spam nigger. If you want to do that, go the fuck somewhere else. Because you know good and well you would never say that shit to my goddamn face. You know that. In fact, I've met two people offline who talk shit to me in person. And just like with the amazing Lucas, they found out that I'm a lot bigger in person than what I appear on goddamn camera. Let me show you something real quick, man. All right, so you see this? You see how far back? So normally when I'm doing a video, I stand way back on this wall right here. I can barely reach this wall when I reach, like I can only get like a few fingers on it, right? So I have to actually push this table back even further, right? And then lean the laptop thing back, because that's why you see the freaking thing is kind of slanted. I gotta lean that back because I'm that fucking tall. Okay. And if you think I'm some weak, small, muscular person, well, there's a video coming out tomorrow where I uploaded a video, and I think I might try to cut this out. Hopefully, you two can catch it before tomorrow. But I uploaded a video where I was talking with my shirt off. Okay, and then some people who saw the preview of the video, they were saying, "Holy shit! I had no idea you had a fucking 8-pack. I'm a lot bigger and stronger than what I look in person." All right, I'm telling you. So, you know, that's why that's the other reason why I don't accept this bullshit online, because I know for a fact I've done it not once but twice, that all that shit that you talk online, you don't talk in fucking person. Okay, I know that now. I know that now. So, you know, if you're gonna have this bravery online, then when I meet you in person, you better have the same fucking bravery. Because if you don't, I'm gonna talk about you. And there's 2 people who unsubscribed from me recently who I met personally. And I'm talking about you now. Because when I saw you in person, you ain't had none of that shit. I'm talk now. All right, you had none of that shit. I'm talk. So, you know, these fucking brave keyboard warriors, you're not brave. I've realized that now. So this channel is for making videos. It's not for venting your fucking rage. If you feel like blacks have treated whites unfairly, you feel like the media has treated you unfairly, you feel like everybody treated you so unfairly, then go to them about it. I ain't got shit to fucking do with it. I don't care about your goddamn rage. I don't care about how upset you are about the fucking, you know, election. I could give 2 fucking shits. But what you're not gonna do is come to me about some shit that I cannot fucking control, and then try to shoot the goddamn messenger. Oh no, you gonna talk shit to me? I'm gonna talk shit right on. I'm gonna first talk shit right on head back to you, and if you start getting a little racist, you start getting a little bit more aggressive, you two has now given me tools in which I don't have to deal with you anymore. So it's my channel. I decide what I want to put out. I decide the rules here. It's not a freaking democracy. It never has been. And if you don't like that, then YouTube has given people tools to make their own channels. Make your own channel. Get more subscribers than I do. Some people have done it. But the one thing that I think, the one insult, because they've said the whole thing of you've changed. They said that to Shoe on Head, several other content creators. You've changed. It's the same usual shit. And then they'll come with the personal insult. Oh, well, you got divorces. So that's making you crazy and all that stuff. And then the whole thing. Then it becomes well, this person, they have this, they have that opinion, they have more subscribers. Well, then go to that person then. See, that's how I know most of their fucking subscribers aren't even real people. Because that's not a fucking argument. You having a crowd around you is not a fucking argument. Okay? Because last time I checked, right, Amos Yee had over 50,000 subscribers, and he got caught with damn child porn. So I don't think you want to make that fucking argument. Somebody having more subscribers, somebody better than you. I put out better content than most people on fucking YouTube, and I know that. So I don't worry about validation from other people. I worry about validation from myself. And it's one thing that I want to teach my subscribers is that don't worry about what other people think of you. Because guess what? They talk shit about everybody. You know, you can do everything right, and they're still gonna talk shit about you. You're still gonna get swarmed. You're still gonna get masked out. Listen, you're not gonna please everybody. So don't bother. I'm not going to. You know, people have been bitching and moaning about some of the content that I've been putting out lately. Let me ask you a question. Have I stopped putting out the same content? So I must not give a shit about what those people think, right? I must not care about what those people think if I keep putting out the exact same content. In fact, the more people complain, the more you know, the MAGA crowd, you know, bitches and moans, the more I'm gonna keep putting out the exact same content. So if you don't want the exact same content, stop fucking screeching. Because I'm only going to put out content that I feel like is fucking necessary. And at this point, the way you've been acting, some of the MAGA crowd, I feel like it's necessary to put out that kind of content. So I'm just going to tell you, I want you to understand this channel is for making videos. I don't care about MAGA. I don't care about Biden. I don't care about none of that shit. I put out the content that I want to put out because I like making videos. I like video editing. I try to get away from it, but I just love it way too much. I love it. I love, putting in funny clips. I love getting on camera. I love this shit. I don't get paid anything to really do this shit. I don't really get AdSense because more than half of my videos, get demonetized or limited, or like the freaking limited state, or some of them get placed. Some of them lose the ability to be pushed up in the algorithm. So I had that happen constantly. So I'm not doing this for money. So, maybe you can manipulate Brandon Tatum, because you give him so much Patreon fucking money. And whenever someone threatens to take away the Patreon money, suddenly he changes his fucking tune because, again, this is what he does for his primary living. This is not my primary job. So I don't need the validation. I don't need the money. I'm not in this for money. I'm in this because I like making videos. I like talking about things that I like to discuss. And most of my subscribers like that. That's why you subscribe to me. You didn't subscribe here to hear the exact same opinions, because if that's the case, you could have stayed there. You could have went to the last channel that you probably found. You came here for my opinions, from my voice, from my views. You came here for that. And that's what I'm here for. Here to give people takes from my point of view. I'm not Brandon Tatum. I'm not Brandon fucking Tatum. I'm not Black Pigeon Speaks. I'm not Aiden Paladin. I'm not Sargon. I'm not any of those people. I'm Dion McNeil, aka Devil's Advocate. That's who I am. I can only be me. I can't be whoever else you want me to be. I can't follow the hive mind. And yes, I will have opinions that will dissent from the people who I mostly hang out with. But that's how it should be, because that prevents echo chambers. And no, me banning people from the channel is not an echo chamber. I've given you very specific criteria in which that's going to happen. If you spam the N-word, that's got to happen, because YouTube has made us responsible for the comment section. So if you spam that too often, they're going to lock down the whole comment section so that nobody else can comment, not even me. No, you're not doing that shit. Deal with it. I've tolerated that shit for a long time, and I'm not tolerating it. All right, so I understand there's been some subscribers that have left, and that's perfectly fine. I will rebuild the audience. So listen, it is almost next to impossible to put out a video every day and not gain subscribers. You will gain them eventually. It's just, what are those subscribers going to look like? And I love to have right-leaning people in my audience, because I'm right-leaning. I'm from the standpoint of being pro-gun, I understand that's going to place me on the right automatically in a lot of places. I understand it. It's going to place me on the right in a whole lot of cases, But at the same time, that's not all the views that I want. I want people who are on the left. I want people who are in the middle. I want people on the right. I want everybody who's different. What I don't want is the comment section to be dominated by fucking MAGA, because it doesn't even represent who I am. I'm not MAGA. I voted for Trump one time. That doesn't make me MAGA. That doesn't make me a hardcore Trump voter. All right. So this idea that you thought I was this hardcore Trump voter, you were wrong from the start. If you listen to the videos over time, I was criticizing Trump. So I do this. I criticize people, and I go out of my way to do it because I hate the online echo chamber that causes the Proud Boys, that causes the fucking alt-right, that causes fucking Antifa, the Black Panther Party, the fucking goddamn NFA. Because people sit there and bounce ideas off of their heads, and no one ever challenges them. And it's like that I on the right challenge ideas. Do you see what the fuck happens? They want me to live in the exact same echo chamber. I'm going to say this, and it's close in the camera. It's not happening. I will not live in an echo chamber. I will not just do some shit because your side says I should do it. You're not going to silence me with the mass downvotes and the threats and the docs and all that shit. I'm going to tell you, I can just fucking bang you now. I remember when I had that whole thing with the alt-right and they fucking swarm my goddamn comment section. I kept screenshots of that shit. I'm going to tell you, YouTube was pretty pissed because that started happening to a lot of content creators with the fucking alt-right. And one of the reasons why Ethan Ralph got banned off of fucking YouTube is because of that. Because he would never go to his damn audience and say, hey guys, listen, this shit's falling back on me now. If his audience ever gave a shit about him, they would fucking stop. That's why I do not want to become Ethan fucking Ralph. I'm sorry. You're not going to get me banned off of fucking YouTube. I know what I can and can't say in videos. But some people don't know what they can and can't say in comments. And YouTube has made it clear now. They're going to hold content creators responsible for what people say in comment sections, which is, I think, is fucking ridiculous, personally. Because if you're one of those, if you're one of those channels that get like hundreds of thousands of fucking subscribers, how can you possibly control that? You can't. Now, I will say that there's some content fucking creators, especially on this side of YouTube, they lie about that. They say, oh, I can't control my audience, and yet they kind of give veiled things like, you know, they'll say, you know, I discourage it, right? But you don't really. And most of the content creators who appear to win a lot of debates don't actually win. What happens is behind the scenes, so many of their fucking subscribers will fucking swarm them like I did with fucking Bearing. And that fucking happened. So many of them fucking like swarms you. And so what happened is that me and Bearing are cool now. I had a conversation with fucking Bearing, dude, like email, but he understood that the reason why he kind of deleted videos when it comes to me is because he understood that YouTube was looking really hard at his fucking channel. You know, looking really hard, especially with the whole thing with the that was before the whole thing with the copyright thing with the fucking bear shit. And personally, I thought that it was kind of ridiculous because I thought that once you use that in a video, I mean, we've had beats before, but that doesn't mean that I think what happened to him was right. Personally, I think that if you're using a picture and you're using your own voice in this your own content, you know, I just don't see how that works out because I've seen so many other content creators use copyrighted type of images, but none of them ever get hit because I'm guessing because they have the right opinions, you know. So Bear's watching this. That's probably what happened to you. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It wasn't so much what happened with me and you. I'm gonna tell you that YouTube did. You looking hard at you for that, because so you know some of your subscribers are fucking crazy, and you gotta do a little bit of a better job of trying to tell them to stop. Because I'm telling you, they're coming down hard with that shit. So I try my best to try to like warn every content creator. Yo, I've seen whole channels get fucking deleted, get yeeted. Comment sections locked down. Videos placed on like a freaking limited state. And if I'm gonna be putting out content every day, I'm not having that happen. So if that means that I have to, you know, go through and clean up the comment section to make sure that doesn't happen, I don't have a choice, guys. All right. Don't blame me. Blame some of the people who you know are doing this shit. Because YouTube, the way that they're seeing it is that that's bad for advertisers and that's bad for business. That's bad for press. You know, right now, Congress and the Senate have been coming down hard on social media companies. The last thing that the alphabet of YouTube needs is a bunch of examples of a bunch of Nazis spamming N-words in comment sections. Because you know, now that Joe Biden is going into office, you know how the federal government is going to see that shit. So times are changing, guys. And honestly, I don't like it personally. I would love just to, you know, let you spam the N-word so I can just screen cap it and then make a video on it. And then people will see that, hey, wow, this guy's getting attacked for no reason. And then it just gets me more fucking, you know, it actually gets me more subscribers. So I would love for that to happen. I would love it. But, you know, that's not the reality that we're living in now. You knew this day was coming. You understood that. And some people who are watching the stream, I wouldn't say, probably not my subscribers, because my subscribers are good people. You're wonderful people. I love you all personally. But some people, and you might know, they cause this. You understand that YouTube is having a real problem with advertisers. And you understand that those same advertisers support BLM. And you understand that, right? So you understand what happens when they start seeing a bunch of race realism types of videos, but a bunch of alt-right shit, a bunch of niggas in freaking comment sections. You understand how that looks, all right? And dispatcher, you're Aryan and proud. That's perfectly fine, man. I have no issue with that. Listen, you can say that. I'm perfectly fine with that, man. I don't see an issue with you being proud of you being white. Personally, I just don't think there's no point in being proud of something that you can't control anyways. I'm not proud of being black because I've done nothing to fucking like earn that. I just happen to be born black. That is not a. It's one thing I keep trying to explain to the left and BLM, because I've actually had some conversations with the Black Lives Matter movement and Antifa and the Black Panther Party, who I'm actually friendly with. I'm very friendly with the Black Panther Party because mainly because of the gun control type of issue. I understand what happened with the Mo for that. I want you to understand that I've talked to a lot of those groups, and so has you too, obviously. If you looked at some of the creator things that they've been focusing on, they've talked to BLM, obviously. What you've noticed, right, is that these groups, they've influenced these companies a lot. And with the incoming administration, I want you to understand, we've had 4 years of Donald Trump, the polar opposite. All right, the polar opposite. He don't like BLM. So you've had the polar opposite. So I want you to understand that when you have polar opposites, there will be a point in time where you're going to get the backlash. Donald Trump, part of the reason why he got into the White House is because of backlash against Barack Obama and political correctness. And there are a lot of white people who just felt like they got shit on a lot. Like, for example, if you look in the live chat right now, that's this one here, like right now. You know, it's some people who just feel that way. And I get that to a certain extent. I've made videos about that. However, there does come a point whereas you're acting like a goddamn victim. Okay. Are there people out there who's going to treat you like shit because you're white? Sure. Absolutely. Are there people who's going to treat me like shit because I'm black? I'm from South Carolina. I wish you would fix your mouth to say that there aren't. I live next to a fucking skinhead. I work corrections. You don't think I ever met a fucking skinhead in a fucking correctional facility? They exist. They're out there. You might not see them every day, but they actually exist. Okay, so there are people out there who will treat you like shit because you're white. It's like it's just like there are people who will treat you like shit because you're fucking black. That's reality. That's life. You know, I don't know what the hell else to like tell you. I mean, some people are like that. And there's nothing that you can do to particularly change that. That's just how they are. And they're not going to change. They're, you know, some people think that bigotry knows a skin color or a gender or a country or a class. It doesn't. It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. Now, I will say from the other side, I do understand what the left is saying in terms of power, you know, power balance. Because the right has to admit, if you're going to say in one breath that there's no black fathers in the home, that these black people, all they do is take a welfare, well, then what you're telling me is that they don't have any power either. All right. So if you want me to believe that black people are all on welfare, these poor people who don't add anything to your goddamn country, and if you want to keep pushing the race and IQ shit, then what you're telling me is that they have no power. So they have power, right? So BLM, right, represents 13% of the fucking population. You think a group that represents only 13% of the population can make things happen with the NFL, NBA, all that stuff? It's not BLM. It's everybody else who's behind them that's pushing it. Now, instead of you bitching and complaining about them, take a couple pages out of their, you know, out of their goddamn book. They don't take no for a damn answer. They don't go away. The alt-right, they went away. So you know why they won. Now you can sit there and mention the fucking media, all this shit, media. Media was also against Donald Trump. And who became president for the past 4 years? The media only has but so much influence. The media can only tell you something, but it's up to you to do it. The media can tell you anything. It's up to you to research things. It's up to you. You know, everybody wants to do this whole lazy bullshit, whereas I'm a journalist, right? I'm in the media. I write articles. In fact, some of my pen names, if you know what my pen name is, I've written articles for CNN, Breitbart, Fox News, you name it. If you Google Dion McNeil, U.S. Press Association, you will see my digital press badge. You will see I have articles on the U.S. Press Association's main webpage. You understand how difficult that is to fucking pull off. If you look at, there's 2 articles that I have there. The one is the lies told about pit bulls. The other one is an article about the Columbia airports in South Carolina not being ready for coronavirus. I think I wrote that. I wrote that back in February or March. They weren't ready, man. They weren't fucking ready. The guy who told me from the Columbia police, from the not the fucking cops, it was Columbia Airport in South Carolina. The guy told me that because they didn't take international flights, that they weren't particularly worried about COVID. I'm like, but you take interchanges from Dallas Fort Worth. There are international airports. So yeah, the virus can still spread. And they weren't prepared at all. So when I wrote that article and I presented it to the U.S. Press Association, they fucking ran with it. They ran with it. And so that's what happened. And I want to tell you, I've written article after article after article. So if I actually went under my real name, I would have 1 million fucking subscribers right now, because a lot of people have read my articles and don't realize I'm the one that fucking wrote it. I'm actually editing a video now. I'm going to show you where a senior staff attorney from the fucking ACLU emails me for help with a family court case. That's how well known I actually am. So my subscriber count on YouTube doesn't tell you what I actually do, because I've done a very good job of separating my YouTube account from my journalism, because some of the things I've said on YouTube, well, you know how that would be taken. So unfortunately, I have to go on the pen names. I have several. There's I'm not gonna tell you like which ones they are, but my writing style is very distinctive. So if you read my articles, you probably could figure, if you read an article under my real name and then read one under my pen name, you could tell that it was me that wrote it, because I have a very distinct writing style. I overprove things. I will take a simple point, right, and I will present 40 points of goddamn evidence to prove one goddamn point. And so that's why a lot of my articles are stupid long. Like the one where I wrote the article about the lies told about pit bulls. That article is almost 5,000 words, man. Because I go out of my way to prove things. And so I don't like to talk about some of my pen names, some of the things I do outside of YouTube, because I don't want people to track it down. Because I understand that once people link my YouTube to my pen names, then my career as a journalist is over. Because I know some of the things I've said have been pretty goddamn harsh on this YouTube channel. So I've gone on my way to not allow people to find out who that is. So I always use a VPN when I'm writing my articles. I've always gone on my way to cover up the freaking tracks. I do have a website called thedailycounter.com. I don't post a whole lot of content up there lately, but I think I might start doing that a little bit more. Basically, I've kind of taken care to not allow anything that's said on YouTube or said in comment section or some of the video topics that I cover, some of the ways that I cover it. I've gone out of my way to make sure that I don't get found out or discovered. Now, the senior staff attorney from the ACLU found out who I was, mainly because of somebody who I helped out, who I wrote an article for him. They went to the ACLU and told them about me and told them about what I did. And so they this ACLU attorney, and I'm going to show it in the video. I'm going to do a video about. Give me a second. I'm going to do a video about how family court and child protective services discriminate against poor people and immigrants. So that's why the ACLU reached out to me, because they understand what my specialty is family courts. I've done a pretty good job of pretty much exposing some of the problems in family courts. So that's why, if you Google my name, Dion McNeil, you'll see an article from Men's Rights Alberta in Canada. And that's how far my story is spread. It's gotten crazy like that. I've gotten articles written all over the world. I wrote an article about Lizzo. I was criticizing Lizzo when it comes to the coronavirus, and when it came to, in fact, I think I'll look up that article and post it down in the chat so you guys can read it. But it got quoted by a German publication. A German publication quoted me. Let's see here. So let me see and type in Dion McNeil, the Daily Counter, Lizzo. Let's see if I can find that video real quick. And Yeah. Okay. So I found my author page here, and it's kind of funny. I have an author page. I'm gonna post that in the chat real quick. Kind of let you guys see some of the things I do on the side here. So there's that link is in the chat. So I'm trying to find that article that I wrote concerning Lizzo, because that was a pretty good article. And some people think that I apparently support Antifa. I wrote an article and I actually cooperated with the FBI when it comes to Antifa. So I'm gonna post an article. When they came to South Carolina, when they came to Columbia, I wrote an entire article warning people that Antifa was in town. So I talked with the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, also the FBI, that exact same night that I released that article. Well, actually, the night previous and the same night too, because they wanted to know, how did I know what I knew? When I told them that I traveled from South Carolina to Washington State and also to Portland 6 times in the past year. So I want you to understand that I've been all over the country, and I kind of know what Antifa was doing, because I've had conversations with the Rose City and with the Rose City fucking Antifa. That's the same group that CNN featured. So I want you to understand I've been talking to a lot of people, and this is why I'm getting the inside scoops, because I don't do what a lot of journalists do. I'm not Tim Pool, right? I don't just sit there and then just you know, pretty much I don't just sit there and read you the fucking news. You know, find a news article and then just do an OBS with a screencast and then just show you that. But you know, I don't want to sit there and just like do that. I want to show you the actual news. So I actually go out to the actual state. That's how I get a lot of stories that I go out to. I go straight to the horse's mouth. I don't just, you know, read you the fucking news. I've never done that. You know, well, in the beginning, I did that. Actually, correction. I will correct myself. In the beginning, I did that. But you notice I stopped that very, very quickly. So I didn't like that. That's, to me, that's not content. To me, that's not content. If I'm not going out there and adding things, I just don't want to. I don't want to do that. So here's another story that I wrote. Another family court story. And well, I didn't write that one. That was Alex Campbell, but it was on my publication. So basically, you know, you have several people who used to write pretty much like with me, and they still do it, and they use the Daily Counter as like a launching point, because like some of the analytics with the site, I've got more readers with the Daily Counter than I ever got with YouTube subscribers. I at one point I had 80,000 people reading my damn articles, man. Because like it spread so far. I mean, I've had German publications quoting me, and it was so bizarre to have that happen. It was a German thing, and they were talking about some of the problems with the coronavirus, and when it comes to obesity in the Black community. And so that's what the target of the article was. I was talking about Lizzo and Jillian Michaels, about how, you know, Jillian Michaels is basically owed an apology from people, because Jillian Michaels was called racist. She was jumped on, everything else. When the fact is, she was right. You know, Blacks, we are the most obese people in the country, and that's killing us when it comes to the coronavirus. You know, and so I just, you know, I basically wrote that article, and I tried to get people to look at that and listen, mainly because I wanted people to change their behavior. You know, I was at one point, I was damn near 300 pounds, and I lost the weight because I realized that was very unhealthy, and I didn't want to live like that. So I even wrote a freaking article about no, the same German blog actually cited my article too. So I'm going to give you the article I wrote about Adele and her divorce, and how it's a lesson in selective outrage. And I'm going to show you a German publication who actually quoted me. It was kind of bizarre. I've never seen anything quite like it. It was, wow. So here it is. Here's the article. It's a German publication quoted my article that I wrote. There it is. That's how well known I am. I mean, when you start getting quoted from other people from other countries, and some of the articles that are written, they found it because basically I had written that article, and that article had been read 89,000 times, because I had re-uploaded it to so many other places, and some of the places were willing to fucking hear it. And so when they caught wind of it, they just cited it. And so when you go back to the article on the Daily Counter about Adele, go down to the comment section, right? You can click on a link and it's right there. You know, so it was kind of, I ain't gonna lie to you, like when that happened, when I started seeing the ACLU contacted me, when I started seeing, you know, things, my stuff started popping on like Men's Rights Alberta. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that article too, so I can show you Men's Rights Alberta, Dion McNeil. The article just popped up when I'm typing it in. Wow. Let's see. And there it is. Let me go ahead and open up this site real quick. Let's go down here, and I'm just showing you this stuff because I mean I thought it was pretty interesting that it was basically I basically I made a name for myself across the country, across the world. Okay, so this right here, this article is from May 27. This is uploaded by Men's Rights Alberta, and this is basically my backstory where I'm being retaliated against by the state of South Carolina because I write so many articles about family court. So when I got into the family court myself, they began retaliating, and I showed all the proof and the evidence in that article. And the article was so good to the point where all the men's rights groups started uploading it. I didn't write that. A friend of mine wrote it, named Alex Campbell, who's another guy who works with me. He's a paralegal. He's a paralegal out of Texas. In fact, I know several paralegals out of Texas. This is another guy I know named DDJ. He's a MGTOW guy, but he's a paralegal out of Texas. You might have actually heard of him. But basically, I write articles that a lot of people wouldn't write. A lot of people wouldn't target. A lot of people don't target family court effectively. And so that's why the ACLU went to me, because I target family court so effectively that I literally changed the outcome in a case in Florida when I was in South Carolina. I'm that good. So there's certain things that I'm kind of a specialist in. And so they wanted my help in the case. And so part of the reason why I went to Washington State is because this woman named Susan Chin. Susan Chin. If you Google Susan Chin, Google Susan Chin CPS. In fact, I'll just type it out in the comment section. You Google that, right? You will see the story where a Chinese immigrant was being discriminated against by CPS right here in Washington State, specifically in King County, where I'm at like right now. Specifically. And so I decided to step in because I didn't think that was right. I decided to go and contact the CPS, and I went there personally. And I told them, I said, my specialty is finding out if there's any corruption and racketeering. I'm gonna let you know if I see that, I'm calling the FBI immediately, and you're all gonna be arrested, because I believe that there's some racketeering and nonsense that went on in that case. And it don't sit well with me. That woman came here as an immigrant. She came here the legal way. She should be given the same legal rights as everybody else. And she was discriminated against by CPS, and I didn't like that. And I'm not going to tolerate that. One thing I don't like is when someone comes here as an American and they become an American citizen, you know, and they're treated like shit by the government. No, I give the benefit of the doubt to the people over the government always. I don't, you know, be it cops, be it military, be it judges. I always give the benefit of the doubt to the citizen and not the government official, because the government drone strikes people. They disarm and abuse people on the regular. It's not the American people who are doing that. That's the government. So that's why I always give the people the benefit of the doubt, you know, versus the freaking cop, okay, or the CPS worker or the judge. And I think it's so maddening, in my opinion, that, you know, some people don't believe in giving the citizen the benefit of the doubt. Anyways, but the Susan Chin story, this is from the Bellevue Reporter, and Bellevue is in Washington State. You know, it's in Washington State, but that's her story, and that's what happened to her. I personally just didn't like the way that went down, man. It was so ridiculous. CPS and family courts, they are probably they're one of the last bastions that we got to take care of in terms of getting equal rights. We got to get rid of the 13th Amendment and solidify gun rights and free speech rights that protects you from the government. But family court and CPS, that's one of the last places that we have to do some real work in, because there's a lot of things that happen there that are unconstitutional, that are just un-American. And I don't think it's right. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I've seen mothers get screwed. I've seen fathers get screwed. It's usually fathers, but I've seen mothers get screwed too. If you don't believe me, there's a video I did about a woman named Brenda Bryant. If you haven't seen that video, go look at that video. It's something that I guarantee you will not see too many videos that showcase corruption. It is just, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what they did to this woman. In fact, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to post that video link in the chat so you guys can see it. It is, I promise you, in terms of political corruption, in terms of judicial corruption, in terms of retaliation, you will be hard pressed to find a story that's worse than this. It is the example of what I mean. And here you go. That's a video link. You guys can just go and watch it. But anyways, guys, this is going to be a relatively short stream. I'm going to wrap it up. Just want to show off my Book of Shadows, man. I got a Book of Shadows. I'm actually a witch. I do believe in Jesus too. I think Jesus is a real person. I do believe in Yahweh, the Christian God. But I also have alternative beliefs too. So in case you guys want to know about that, that's what it is. I'm going to make some more videos about this. I thought that I would like to do some videos on the occult in terms of trying to educate some of my subscribers about some of the things that I know. But that's not going to be the primary video topics that I'm going to do. I'm going to do things that are unorthodox, so things that people don't usually talk about, or some things that people do talk about that makes them angry, but I'm still going to talk about it. But that's who I am. This channel is for videos. It's not for rage. It's not for anything else. It's for videos. And that's what I'm going to do. That's why lately I told you I'm going to give you content every day, and I've been doing it. I've been keeping my word on that. I'm gonna give you content every day, and once a week you get a polished, crazy animated video. And there's one coming up that you're gonna like very much. And there's one coming up that you might not like. I'm doing a long form video where I'm not doing a whole lot of talking, where I'm making fun of Tim Pool, Sticks, Hexahammer, all those people. I'm gonna do a long form video, all right, where it's gonna be animated. And it's gonna be just a music video, pretty much, because I found this nice, cool video by it was a 9 Inch Nails cover. It's basically taking the words from one song and playing it over the beat from Every Day Is Exactly the Same. Like that song, it's one of my favorite songs. You know, every day is exactly the same. I love that song. I love 9 Inch Nails. It's my favorite band. I love Trent fucking Reznor. If you want to know who my favorite band is, it's 9 Inch Nails. But I'm editing that video, and that should be out. Usually the polished videos I have out between Wednesdays or Saturdays. I don't do a whole lot of uploads, polished videos on Sundays through Tuesdays, mainly because I do a lot of physical types of activities. I do some wolf wrangling. I did some wolf wrangling earlier. I was messing around with some wolf hybrids. I deal with a lot of large breeds. So you saw my greyhound, my pit bull is 135 pounds. If you want to, you know, if you haven't seen him yet, but he's I deal usually with a lot of large breeds, and I volunteer with a lot of local animal shelters and animal rights groups, and I try to help to deal with some of the more aggressive dogs. Like, for example, when I see a lot of the more aggressive breeds, they will either be put down or they'll be relocated. So a lot of times they'll call me in because I don't mind dealing with large aggressive breeds. In fact, even the apartment complex that I'm at now, whenever they have a stray dog, like when they had a Doberman, a big Doberman, like the freaking Resident Evil dog. Yeah, they left the front gate open and the Doberman just like walked in. So they just called me and said, "Hey, Dion, you got a dog outside?" I was like, "Oh yeah, you know, dog outside." I'm thinking like, you know, it's like a little regular 60-pound dog. I saw a Doberman. I was like, "Oh shit." I put on my Kevlar gloves. I put on my little arm wraps and put on some boots. I put on my heavy jacket, my bite resistant jacket. I have a bite resistant jacket. Yeah. So I deal with a lot of large, dangerous breeds, and I went out there and I got, you know, dog latched onto my arm, and that's fine. I let him latch on, and I lifted him up while he was still latched onto my arm, and I grabbed him by the freaking scruff, and I pulled him off, and I got a leash and a collar on him, and I dragged him to my car. I put him in a freaking kennel, and I brought him down to the shelter. And that dog got recently has been adopted. They worked with him to make him less aggressive. That was like 5 months ago. They worked with him to make him less aggressive, and now he's He's in a happy home now with an actual family. And the one thing the family they've been calling the shelter, and the shelter has been giving me some some updates, and I appreciate them going and doing that, and I named him Cujo because he's like Cujo. He bit shit out of me. But Cujo got adopted out, and he's with a family of 5, 2 little girls and 1 boy, wife and a father. And Cujo's doing very, very well. He loves the family. And I think what Cujo needed was a family that he could be devoted to. Because a lot of times with Dobermans, they are very intense dogs who want to protect their family, And so I think when you put them in a nice family setting, whereas, you can have people that can be around them all the time and show them that affection, socialize them with people. He hasn't bitten anybody. They left him around the kids, and these are small children. One of them is a freaking toddler. He doesn't attack the kids, because what happened was, I think what happened with him was that he was abandoned. That someone got him as a puppy. They wanted a big, cool, scary looking dog like they do with pit bulls, and when they got too big to handle, they didn't want to train him. They didn't want to invest any kind of time with him. So when he got out of control, they just let him free, and that happens a lot, especially in big cities. Happens a lot. It's so sad. It happens a lot. It's so sad, but I'm glad that he got a second chance, like my buddy Azul over here. Azul, hey, Azul, come here, come here, come here. Let's go see Azul. You guys love him, so I'm gonna show him to you. Azul, come here, come here. God, he's so fat and slow, but say hey, Azul. Say hey, hey, buddy. Yeah, it's my buddy. Yeah, he's 135 pounds. I took him in. There's a family that had him. It's a group of women that had him. When I was in South Carolina, there was a pregnant woman who was homeless, and she came to my door, and I let her stay at my place for free. I told her, don't worry about bills. I'm a kind-hearted person. I know I seem like I'm hardcore on the internet, but in truth, I'm not as hardcore as you might think I am. There's a pregnant woman who came to my door. I'm not going to say her name because, again, if you're homeless, that's a low point in life. And I don't think people need to know about that unless it's absolutely have to know. So when she came in, she stayed at my place for a little while, and then she invited her mother. Mother didn't have a place to stay, so I allowed her to stay. And so one day I went out to go do something, and she called me and says, hey, I want to bring over my toy poodle. A freaking toy poodle. Okay, so I said, cool, toy poodle, that's fine. At the time I had my freaking greyhound. So later on that night, I come home and I walk past the room where the dog's supposed to be inside the kennel, and I hear a bark. That did not sound like no goddamn toy poodle. That sounded like Cerberus, the freaking 3-headed dog. And so I thought nothing. I thought nothing of it. I was just sleepy as hell. I wasn't thinking. I went to sleep. Next morning, they take my car. They borrow my car to go grocery shopping. They go to the grocery store, and I wake up and I say, hey, I'm gonna go check out the freaking dogs. I love dogs. I go inside the room, and well, actually, before I went inside the room, they actually called me and said, hey, we let the dog out to let him go and walk around. So I said, okay, cool. So I go back in the room. And that's why I saw Zool. I want you to imagine my shock. You're expecting a toy poodle, and instead of a toy poodle, you see a 135-pound XL pit bull. Yeah. She lied to me because she thought that I would not allow dogs to stay there. And I had to explain to her, I have a 90-pound greyhound. I'm used to big breeds. That wouldn't have bothered me. You could have told me the truth. So they eventually left my home. When they could find another place to go, and they asked me before they left, would you like to keep Azul? And I said, yeah. I fall in love with him. He's very difficult to manage, at least at first, because they didn't know how to train a pit bull, a very big pit bull. He wasn't aggressive whatsoever. The problem is that when you walk him, he likes to freaking drag you and stuff. And unfortunately, he doesn't know how big he is. So sometimes he will sit on you, and he'll lay on you, and he'll jump up on you, and he doesn't realize his size. So that's why a lot of times I have to train him to do that. So pretty much I got him like well behaved. He can speak on command. I have to be careful when I say that because he'll start barking. He knows how to do all that stuff basically on command, and now he's the friendliest dog ever, and he just loves people. And so it's a testament that that a dog that was used as a baiting dog, he was used as a baiting dog. He didn't have any fight with him, and so they would use the bigger dogs, the actual fighting dogs, to go and attack him, to practice on. That's what happened to Azul before those women got to him. And I'm amazed that Azul doesn't hold a grudge against people. I'm amazed that he's so forgiving, so loving. And the reason why they didn't want to fight him and make him a bait dog is basically because he didn't have any fight in him. He was just big. That's all he was. He didn't have any fight in him. And so it's unfortunate what happened to him. But now that I have him, I'm not going to let anyone else hurt him. Nor am I going to let anyone judge him because he's a pit bull. He's a sweet, sweet, sweet boy. And I love him to death. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. I just want to give you a brief explanation into my paganism and some of my political beliefs and some of the things that have been happening recently, and just have a little chat with my subscribers, man. I love you all, and let's not have a civil war, man. Seriously, let's just calm that shit down. I don't want that warfare on my streets, and I don't think you really, really want that either. All right, let's all be kind to each other. You can talk shit to each other, that's fine. But let's not take actions that's going to make things worse in this country. People are already miserable, man. This coronavirus has caused people to commit suicide. Domestic violence numbers and child abuse numbers are already on the rise. People are losing their businesses, losing their jobs. Do you really want to make this worse? I don't. So anyways, guys, till next time, horns up and peace out. Love you all.